Hello friends, Tom Downey here for Chat Sports, back again to talk some more NBA free agency that's focusing on another superstar that might end up changing teams this offseason. This time around, that is Kevin Durant of the Golden State Warriors who, well, he already flipped teams once. Why not do it again? Shed some new skin, if you will. Now for Durant, who is perhaps the top free agent on the market, and yes, you can make an argument for Kawhi Leonard, and that's a fair argument to make, but for Durant, his possible departure, and some say likely departure, has been rumored, buzzed, talked about, whatever word you want to use there, for about a year now. Now, Golden State is a threat to re-sign him, but maybe this is the year Durant changes teams and leaves the Bay Area. Now, there's no doubt that on the court, whatever drama you want to do with off the words, but on the court only, he's one of the best players in the NBA. Great scorer, good defender, can do everything you want as a superstar player, and he's still only 30, so it's not like he's ancient by any means. He's a great player, injuries this year notwithstanding. So for Durant, of course, there's going to be all kinds of interest around him. But what teams make the most sense, that can actually afford him? We'll go through 5 here. Let us know who you think makes the most sense as we go along here. Number 5, the LA Lakers. Just imagine LeBron James and Kevin Durant on the same team. How awesome would that be? But in reality, if you're Durant, do you want to go to a franchise that, quite frankly, and I'm sorry, LA fans, that is dysfunctional right now? That's the only way to describe this organization at the moment. Now, Durant would provide some stability there, and if he wants to join, cap space is set aside. They do not have to worry about finding a way to fit him in. And Durant and LeBron would be such a good combo. Don't care about the rest of the roster, frankly. You'd probably keep Lonzo Ball, unless you traded for Anthony Davis somehow. I'll list Ingram as the other guard, but whatever. Maybe it's Josh Hart, maybe Kuzma plays more instead of JaVale McGee. They'll find a way to make it work. Don't worry too much about the positional value there. It's the NBA. There's almost positionless basketball at this point in the NBA history. So for Durant, if he wants to go, LA can afford him. I don't know if that's the route he wants to go, though. Let's go then to number 4, the Brooklyn Nets. And at this point, I had a tough time really figuring out the order here. I almost put Brooklyn as high as 3 or 2. The Nets are aiming high this offseason, and they've been linked to Durant and to Kyrie Irving and to Kawhi. But my question is, if you're Durant, are you going to pick the Nets over both LA franchises and the Knicks? I'm not sure he's going to. Now, with that said, Durant in Brooklyn, serious question, is this team the Eastern Conference favorite? Regardless of what happens with Kawhi even in Detroit. D'Angelo Russell's there. I'm a big fan of Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Joe Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie. If you even add Kyrie Irving too, instead of Russell, that's a really good group. I know it's weird to mention the Nets, as bad as they've been the past couple of years, as a legitimate NBA Finals threat, but if you bring in Durant, how many wins is he worth? 10 plus, right? Relative to the Nets, maybe 15 even? That's a 50-plus win team. That's a bordering even 60-win team. So I think the Nets legitimately would be a threat if they were able to land Durant. Now here's a question for you guys. Which New York team is the better free agency destination? Type N for the Nets and K for the Knicks. Let me know in the comments section. The Knicks, you have to deal with the whole ownership issue, but it is still the Knicks. So which team is the better free agency destination? Let me know in the comments section. Let's move to number 3, the Los Angeles Clippers, who I consider a sleeper-ish team in the Durant sweepstakes. The Clippers are going to chase all of the big names, and I've learned one thing in the past couple of years of the NBA. Never discount the ability of Jerry West. Everywhere he goes, he turns the roster into gold somehow. Imagine the Clippers if they were able to land Kevin Durant to that roster there. He'd be such a fantastic addition to that team. You would still keep a bunch of your players there. For the Clippers, what a fantastic ability there to bring in Durant on that roster with say, Gilgeous-Alexander, Landry Shamet. You could still maybe try and get somebody else there. And of course, your benches, you're so good. Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, that's a really good core. And for the Clippers, I'm not going to discount that ability of Jerry West to lure players in, and not only that, find a way to get the best players with where they're drafted and find value elsewhere. So for the Clippers, check in as a bit of a sleeper team for me at number 3. At number 2, I'm not going to count them out. The Golden State Warriors. And Durant has a good thing going right now with Golden State. He can re-sign, he can keep winning titles, can keep being in the mix for NBA Finals MVP, NBA MVPs. If you only want to win games and you don't care about whatever legacy, in quotes by the way, you have long term, you stick with Golden State. You get paid a bunch of money, you live in the Bay Area where you need to be rich to live. I can speak from personal experience on that front. And you just win titles every single year. Or maybe Durant is really ready to move on. Let's just assume Boogie Cousins leaves in free agency. They're still the best team in the NBA, bar none. Curry, Durant, Clay, and Draymond. You're just the best team. It's frustrating, I know, non-Golden State fans. Who cares about your center? You can go with your death lineup still Iggy, who, despite getting older every year, keeps playing out of his mind off the bench for the most part. But maybe Durant really feels it's time to move on from the Bay Area, head back to a new organization, and, if you want to buy into the narrative, salvage his legacy or whatever. So should Durant leave the Warriors? Let me know in the comments section. Type Y for yes and type N for no. From an NBA parity perspective, yes, he should. I don't want all these great players in one spot. That's not fun for me just as a general NBA fan. I don't want to have the same team winning it every single year and just dominating 90% of the time. But if you're Durant and you just want to win, that's Golden State for you. So let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments section. Let's move then to my number 1 team. That is the New York Knicks, the long-rumored possible destination for Mr. Kevin Durant. And the Knicks, after years of swinging for the fences and striking out like they were Adam Dunn, are looking to make a huge splash in free agency. They want to pair Durant with Kyrie Irving. By the way, that's a fun duo. Now, the Knicks, though, their biggest problem, ownership, but they have missed a lot in the past. Is this finally the year that the fortunes change for the Knicks and they actually pull in a big free agent or two? Let's say they only land Durant, and I'll make note, I'm just going to put RJ Barrett in as the shooting guard. I just think he's going to be the number 3 overall pick. So I don't normally do rookies there, but I'll do it for this one. You bring in Dennis Smith, you have Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, Cloud Vonleh, put Knicks to the power forward there. All of a sudden, boom, you've got a great core there for the Knicks. You have Kevin Durant and Kevin Knox, RJ Barrett, Dennis Smith, your point guard. That's fine. That's a really good duo. But if you are able to land Kyrie Irving too, and the Knicks get their dream scenario, oh my. Kevin Knox will throw in RJ Barrett. Mitchell Robinson can be your center, who I know he's not a star, but you don't need a star center when you've got Kyrie Irving, when you've got Kevin Durant, and you'll get production from Knox and Barrett, assuming you keep that pick, don't trade it, or do whatever with it. That's a great core for the Knicks, and all of a sudden, they go from hot trash at 17-65 last year to maybe they don't flip the mark and win 65 or something crazy, but they'd come pretty close to flipping their record. Let's just say, I think 50 wins is a reasonable expectation at that point for the Knicks. The question is, and it's going to be the case for quite some time leading up to NBA free agency, is this the year that it changes in New York? Is this the year they can actually pull in a big name NBA free agent? Let's recap here my top 5 teams that could sign Kevin Durant. We mentioned the Knicks, of course, at number 1. I'm not discounting the Golden State Warriors at number 2. Number 3 and 4, if you disagree, you can flip-flop them. I think it's very close there. 3A, 3B, the LA Clippers, and number 4, the Brooklyn Nets. Then at number 5, that is the LA Lakers. Imagine LeBron and Durant on the same team. My hopes are not up, but it'd be a really fun duo, and then Durant will get to go up against Golden State. But folks, let me know in the comments section, what team do you think will sign Kevin Durant? Is it the Knicks, the Nets, the Clippers, Lakers, or will they just re-sign with Golden State? Or heck, is it a team I didn't mention? Let me know what you think will happen this offseason in the comment section. And oh, by the way, make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/chatsportstv.